Hi, I'm Fred.
And I'm Sarah, aka the Paris Quiz Mistress.
We're two friends addicted to trivia, and we're
rewatching
Alias.
But this is not an Alias podcast. Every episode, we play general knowledge trivia on a theme.
5 quiz questions for you to play along.
And the iconic early 2000s spy thriller show starring Jennifer Garner
Doesn't really matter.
Because this is
not an Alias podcast. Welcome back to This Is Not an Alias podcast.
We know the drill by now.
Exactly. So, to start with the beginning, are you ready in 60 seconds, Sarah, to give me the summary of episode 14, The Coup? Are you ready?
Yes.
And go.
So we get a first appearance of Sark, number one crush, shooting up a bank in Hong Kong. And then David McNeil and Will are still doing things. They're going into action and doing dolphins and computer programs and the Matrix and whatnot. And then Sydney finds out that Charlie's really cheating on Francie. Oh no, so sad. And then they go to Vegas, and Sydney's in Vegas, and she's dressed like a cocktail waitress. And then, oh no, Charlie and Francie are in Vegas too, but Sydney is with Dixon, who has a very stereotypical Jamaican accent. And then she tries to stop Charlie and Francie getting married in a quickie wedding in Vegas. And then she goes to the carousel, and her dad gives her some advice. And then they try to go to Russia to spy on K-Directorate. And then Sark kills the head of K-Directorate. And then Sydney gets shot up on a zip line.
Woo! Perfecto! So many things happening,
There was so much.
Oh my god. But again, let's not spend one more second on Alias, because that is not the point of this podcast.
No.
Sarah, what do you think your quiz is about from all the things you told me?
I think it's about dolphins. Because that was the super secret name of the computer file that Dolphin. Will had to super secretly download.
Yeah. No, I didn't go for that. No, I went for a little detail that's related to the Charlie-Francie drama. She has a confrontation with Sydney about Charlie, and then she goes out of the house, and then she comes back to the apartment at night while Sydney's drinking a glass of wine.
By the fire, as usual.
As usual. And she comes in, and Sydney asks her, where were you? And she says...
I don't know. She went to the movies.
Yes.
Yeah, she said she saw 3 movies, yeah.
3 movies. Exactly. So...
Oh, is it about trilogies?
It's about trilogies.
Genius.
Do you enjoy that?
Yes. Sufficiently adjacent.
We'll allow it. All right, 5 questions about trilogies. Question 1. Which word precedes the words sunrise, sunset, and midnight in the titles of a trilogy of movies released in 1995, 2004, and 2013, and chronicling the romance of a couple played by Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy?
I've never seen any of these movies, but I do know the answer, and it is Before.
Before is the Before trilogy by Richard Linklater. I really, really like those movies.
I've heard great things. I just don't watch movies. I just learn enough about them to answer questions like these.
You refuse to go further than that.
I mean, if you're just in it for the trivia, why waste 2 hours?
Or 6 is the trilogy.
Yes.
It's an excellent trilogy. Highly recommend. Yes, you get it. It's the Before trilogy. Question 2. Which zany duo came back together in 2020 to face the music 29 years after they faced the Grim Reaper during their bogus journey, and 31 years after they came face-to-face with Abe Lincoln and Genghis Khan during their excellent adventure?
Too many hints, Fred.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to do a Keanu Reeves impression, but I believe that is Bill and Ted.
It is Bill and Ted.
That's Keanu Reeves, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. I didn't know that Bill and Ted was a trilogy.
Oh, yeah, it's a recent, 2020. I mean, I guess no one heard of it because
We were busy.
The mental space was occupied. Yeah, I haven't watched it either. But the first two ones pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty
Okay.
good. Fun. Question 3. The TV show Legacies is the spin-off of which supernatural teen drama that aired on CW from 2009 to 2017 and starred Ian Somerhalder and Paul Wesley as the Salvatore brothers?
So I don't know. Legacies, supernatural. I mean, my first thought was Buffy, but the years don't add up. Then I thought maybe Smallville. I'm going to go with Smallville because I don't know any other CW supernatural dramas.
No. It is in the line of Buffy, though. It's the same genre. The same
Charmed? No.
2009 to 2017.
Yeah, no. No, I have no idea.
A possible synonym for the title that I came up with is The Bloodsucker Journals.
Oh, The Vampire Diaries.
Hey-oh!
Yep.
There you go, The Vampire Diaries. The first spin-off is The Originals, and then Legacies was spun off The Originals.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. Now I know.
Yeah, I know there were like hot vampire guys when I was a teenager. Question 4. The David Bowie albums Low, Heroes, and Lodger form a trilogy named after which city, although only Heroes was truly recorded in that city. He worked on these albums with Brian Eno and took inspiration from the krautrock genre.
Krautrock. Oh, okay. I did not know these albums were a trilogy. TIL. So I was going to say something like Detroit because, I don't know, he sings about Detroit sometimes. But Detroit is not krautrock central.
No.
So I guess I'm going to have to say Berlin.
It is Berlin.
Yes.
You got it. He, in the 70s, he left America because of all the drugs. And he went with Iggy Pop to Europe. He went to France first, then Berlin, then Switzerland. And in that time between, like, I think 75 to 79, something like that, they recorded 3 albums. He also helped Iggy Pop with music. So, yeah, there you go.
Going to Berlin to get off drugs.
Exactly.
What an idea.
I mean, first he went to a castle in nowhere, France. So, and also then Philip Glass made classical albums based off that trilogy. So there's a whole family of music related to that.
Thank you, Fred.
There you go. Question 5. Akio, son of Shuichiro and grandson of Kiichiro, is the current chairman of which multinational company, one of the largest in its sector? The company has produced the all-time best-selling series of products in its manufacturing category.
And it's something to do with trilogies?
I mean, because he's the grandson of the...
Oh, just the 3 guys.
It's a trilogy of guys.
Okay. I was like, ooh. So, sounds Japanese. So, I'm just going to name a Japanese company.
Go ahead.
Sanrio.
No.
Do you know what Sanrio is?
Barely.
They're the company that owns Hello Kitty.
Oh, yeah. Who's not a cat, according to them?
Yeah, she's a little girl.
Yeah, they keep saying that, which, creepy. Don't do that. Just let the people have it. Know what I mean?
Her name is Kitty. She looks like a cat. Okay, so different Japanese company. Let's go with Sony.
No.
Is there clues in the question?
All-time best-selling series of products. Is that a clue? It's very large. It's kind of old.
Very large, kind of old. Oh, Nintendo.
It's a bigger kind of machine.
Is it the car company? Toyota?
It's Toyota. It's a Toyota family. Originally, they were making not cars. I think like looms.
Oh,
Something
yeah.
with textile, I think.
Most of like the oldest companies in the world are Japanese because they just
Yeah.
incorporate and then they just keep pivoting.
Exactly.
Like
They-
Nintendo. Do you know what Nintendo was?
No, watches?
No, it's playing cards.
Oh, always already in the game business.
Mm-hmm.
And then they acquired. Very smart. Well, congratulations, Sarah. That is your quiz about trilogies. Some trilogies of music, some of people, some of movies.
Trilogies of people. I was hoping for some Lord of the Rings, but maybe we'll find some further down the line.
Maybe. I mean, it's always around the corner somewhere, always around the bend in the Shire.
Yeah.
But yeah, today it was this special sauce. We will ask that all the people who came in for trivia gently exit the building and leave some sitting space for the people who are here for the Alias.
Sayonara.
Sayonara never. So, what are your hot thoughts about Alias 14?
Big episode. There was a lot of things happening. It was somewhat less about the missions, I guess, and there was more like interpersonal stuff. David McNeil getting into it. Don't think the Jamaican caricature would fly in 2023, but it was entertaining for a throwback.
I felt like his accent was okay. Well done. It's mostly the hair. The hair is a combination of all of it. I can understand why a spy would do an accent, no problem. But the whole demeanor is what's kind of, all right. He's not only is he Jamaican, he's Jamaican. It's kind of like the Chinese restaurant who was the most Chinese restaurant ever.
Yeah.
It's a bit on the nose. I liked on the in the when Will goes to the company to steal the secrets, and the McNeil is like, the code is blah 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 blah, and I'm like, you have the same code in 8 years? That's impossible. They kept the same code. A security company, a digital security company.
Yeah.
He's been in jail for 8 years, and it's like, it's 0000. It's like, oh, that still works. I'm like, I cannot go back to like my old apartment from 2014 and just type. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, no.
It's a terrible, terrible flaw. Somebody should do something about it.
That was the security flaw. There was another security flaw. They spent a lot of time talking about how casino security is really intense, and then so they they go through all these hoops to get into the casino, and then when their cover is blown, because they realize he's not the Jamaican guy who's pretending to be, they just like karate chop someone and leave.
And Katwele.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I guess they
escaped.
They're good. I mean, they're good spies. They're really good spies.
They're very visible, though. There's several recordings of them with their face being very visible. Especially, I mean, shout out to that silver attire from Vegas.
Yeah.
But
showgirl, waitress kind of look, yeah.
Exactly.
Headpiece. There's a headpiece.
We always respect someone fighting in heels, of course. But her face is quite visible. I'm sure there's...
She had no makeup on. I was like, shouldn't she be a little bit more tarted up?
Exactly.
We're very excited about Sark.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, we are excited.
He's a cute guy.
He's very cute.
He's very lethal as well.
Very lethal. What was his body count this episode? Jesus. He like shot up the bank and then he like assassinated the head of the K Directorate.
He got FTL, he got K Directorate. You know what? It's really easy to kill those very, very important men. You just invite them to Russia in a dingy place and they come with no security because they trust you, and then you shoot them on sight. Remember the episode where they go to Berlin for the numbers in the stadium?
Yeah.
And how it was complicated. They had like snipers and counter snipers, and this guy just shows up to like a building in Russia and is like, I don't even have a vest. Nothing. Shoot me.
He's like, you're wasting my time. Goodbye.
Well, you did. So we're excited for Sark, you say.
Oh, yes. Yes. Great character. Vaughn just with not great lines, but it's like the delivery is so bad that it's funny when he says that what he did at SD6 was Not exactly constitutional.
Then he goes and hits on Sydney at the observatory and is like, I'd love to grab a pizza with you. And I'm like, stop hitting on your colleague, Vaughn, please.
Hashtag
please.
me too.
So hard. It's like terrible etiquette. Terrible. Stop it. We love Dad. Dad tries to be a better dad. He's like, how's school? How's the studies, the PH, the math? Yeah, cool. and she's like, Mom was a spy. She's terrible. I don't want to be a professor anymore. And he's like, you like the carousel? Also, big respect to Dad's fur hat in Russia.
That fur hat was doing a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah. And that fur hat has a story arc that's going to be ended in the next episode because it doesn't move off her head as she's swinging and just, diving and avoiding, Kalashnikov bullets.
She was wearing a lot more makeup to be on that zip line
in the dark
than in Vegas.
Which was the most obvious. Terrible. But yeah, the continuation of the fur hat arc in the next episode. I'm looking forward.
But classic cliffhanger.
Exactly. I mean, building hanger. Oh, quite
literally. Yeah, hanging off that building.
We're good for the coup.
Thanks for listening to Not an Alias podcast, produced by Celia Brondeau with original music by Mad98.
If you love what we do, leave us a tip. The link to the tip jar is in the description.
And you can follow all things trivia at Paris Quiz Mistress.
And all things Fred at Fred Me Up.
Until next time.
Stay nerdy and keep quizzing.